right, welcome to the Nitty Gritty, episode 1004. Is it 104? Really? Wow, we're so cool. 105. We have a serial entrepreneur here, but it's spelled like cereal that we all love and enjoy in the morning. His name is
Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Yeah, he is the CEO of General Mills. Scott Paul. He has a great radio voice.
There's a story behind that.
That was going to be my first question, especially where we're talking about Scott, my cousin, Warner, who is like obsessed with all things cereal. It's like his Twitter is cereal and Dodgers.
Whoa. He was present.
For this story? Okay.
He was in the room where it happened.
Really?
Let's go to Lidditz, Pennsylvania, in Amish country, May 23rd.
His voice is so soothing.
I do some ASMR. Yeah. If you guys want me to chew any like shrimp or something.
I hate that ASMR stuff. I hate it.
So we are literally in Pennsylvania, Amish country, and we are testing out one of my favorite startups right now. It's called Jump. It's a VR wingsuiting experience.
Oh, that's right. I did see that.
Yeah. So we're out there. We're in the lobby with Dude Perfect, who's an investor, right, and we're doing it with us. And these five guys are also cereal fanatics.
We are like huge fans. Do you know? Him and Andrew and I met them a week before at the Masters.
Yeah, they were there.
Pictures with them.
When I saw that, I was going to say they were this year. They were there.
We got pictures with them in the pro shop.
They're some of the best guys.
They were so cool.
Yeah, they're going to be coming to Utah. They're going to be opening up our Jump thing here. I'm going to stay in my barn. I'm going to make them all stay in the barn is my thing. Film the content for my channel.
Let me cater it, please.
Yes, please. Will you?
Done.
All right, that's awesome. I got a lot more needs for that too. There's a lot of events I need.
I love it.
Catering on. But here we are in this lobby, and there's a battle of is it Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Right.
Is it? I mean, and they all have the acronyms or the abbreviations.
Right.
I didn't know what they were talking about. They were using all the abbreviations for all these cereals.
They've done like a bunch of cereal, like top 10 cereal videos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So these guys are all in, and there's a top 10 that's like you don't mess with this. Like there are some that will always be on the top 10. If someone doesn't put them there, it's you
don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly. So anyway, I am starting a cereal brand with them.
You're kidding.
Is that real?
It's real.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And it kind of happened right there. We're like, why are you guys not doing something like Let's Go?
Oh my gosh, Let's Go.
Right?
It's so good.
Yeah. So I called up Sean Neff, who's a brander, does stuff, and I'm like, you got to meet these Dude Perfect guys because you have friends at Target and General Mills and all stuff, and so we're in the works.
Unbelievable. How cool.
Just like that in the lobby of Jump.
Please tell me it's actually going to be called Let's Go's, because they say that 100 times a video.
Every video, right?
I watch I have notifications. Like my kids have gotten me, and like I love those guys. Mm-hmm. Like I watch everything they do. So that's so cool. Let's Go's. Any hints on like what it's going to be like?
Not at all.
None?
Yeah,
do you guys not have it, or are you being secretive?
No, it's not. It's just so beginner.
Right.
It has to have some flavor.
It's a brilliant idea.
It has to have some flavor of like...
Just needs to be a bunch of different balls. Like all the different balls they use, right? Like hockey pucks and basketballs and golf balls.
Yeah.
And think of all the things you can do with...
Yeah.
Think of all the things you can do with like a cereal box to bring back the 80s, the prizes. And then the integration of content creators that they are.
Right.
I mean... If a kid won Dude Perfect at his high school or middle school, he would probably pass out and lose. Like it would be too much, like overwhelming. That's how much these kids love that group.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
people saw my stories with them and stuff, and they're like, they're like driving up to my house to just talk about Dude Perfect to see the ball they signed that I shoot with my.
Wow.
They have the fan base that is so rabid. It's beautiful to see because they're good. They're good content creators. They're promoting good stuff and. So yeah, if cereal will do well, so will Jump that they're going to get behind. Wow. You're going to be able to experience this base jumping with them. They'll be able to walk you off a cliff practically, which is what you have to do. So.
They're in Alaska right now doing another...
I was just texting Cody.
Bucket list. Shut your mouth.
Oh yeah, we call them right now. Let's get them on. Let's get them on the phone.
Oh my gosh. He's my favorite. So he was the nicest one.
Cody's the best.
So when they come to Utah, we need to get him on the podcast. That would be fun.
Oh, that'd be crazy. I remember I asked, you were with me, right?
No, I wasn't.
I asked Tyler for the picture.
Yeah.
And the Masters this year was like pretty exclusive. Like they didn't let very many people in.
No, it was really.
So there was nobody there bugging him. Like we were in a pro shop that was even more like exclusive. Like there were probably only 12 of us in there as customers.
Yeah.
So nobody was bugging him, but I asked him, like, I'm a huge fan, would love a quick picture. He's like, yeah, we can do that. Just kind of like low energy, which I get it. Like he's at the Masters, but then Cody comes over here, yells at Cody and Garrett.
Yeah.
And they both came over with like their cameras that were like 3 feet long. They're like, yeah, let's go, man. They were so nice.
They are so nice.
And
they're not making it up. It's
everywhere
they go.
Well, you can just tell. You can tell
when someone's like when it's like genuine to who they are.
They were so cool.
And their YouTube's is like what they're doing is like it's one of the oldest channels around. Like they have reinvented and stayed relevant where most people in YouTube have a crest and a fall. It's not normal to be around for over 10 years.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they've been going since 2009, right?
Yeah. 12 years, I think.
Just started as like taking shots at their ranch.
Yeah.
And just their second video went viral.
Their story was cool.
It's awesome.
I'll have to find
cool, man.
I'll find my photo of. So I wear a lot of wigs because I'm a hair influencer.
I saw that too. I was going to ask you about that.
That's just me coining a term. I have a friend who has a wig company, and she brought the wig
story earlier. Yeah, that's where that came from.
Yeah, she brought these wigs I started this thing called Tangible. It was like an e-commerce school, and she was one of the students, and she wanted to help digitize her wig business.
Right.
And so she brought one for my female founder named Rachel Nielsen, who does rags, the like kids clothes. Uh-huh. And I'm like, I love that wig, and I tried it on, and it was for Rachel, but it was kind of purple and gray, and I took it home, and I'm gonna wear one of these every day. It just made me feel like it made me feel different, and I'm like, I like the idea of putting something on my head and just having a different character.
Right.
And so now I have like 7 of these wigs from her, and each one of them, I should get one out of the car today because each one of them gives me like a different persona that I can't help. It just starts. If my long hair is right here, I'll start playing with it and I'll talk really slow.
These are probably nice wigs too, huh?
One of them is real human hair. It's $1,200 wig. Yeah,
gosh.
I didn't know that. So I have to wash that one and take care of it.
How come that's not a thing yet for dudes?
It is.
I saw the bro dress the other day by. It was in like Cosmo or Vogue, and it's Post Malone. They're calling it like the posty dress or something. It's a dress for dudes.
Interesting.
And it is the ugliest. The ugliest thing I've ever seen. So I'm like, I wonder when wigs is going to catch on.
It's coming. It's got to be.
I'm sure it's catching on like LA, New York.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
But that's funny. There's no stigma to that. It's just you feel like a different person.
We call that the BTS wig.
There's Jesus.
This is the one that I look like the Korean K-pop band. Sometimes I'll put a beauty mark on to just kind of. But yeah, the Jesus wig is pretty serious.
You look like Jared Leto right there.
Right? How can you not have a different character when that's what you look like?
That doesn't even look like a wig. That's
the real human hair one. That is the real human hair one. It's and the same color as my beard.
See, I have a shaved head. I got to start wearing wigs.
I'm with you. I'll tell you. I'll send you the dress. Let's do this. I've got a lot of other people trying it too.
Wow. That's really funny because that does. I could see like you talking like it makes you feel like a different person. Like,
but isn't that crazy? That
guy
guy from the other guy though. Those are two opposite characters.
You're right.
It's weird.
And you know what? Make life a little more fun.
It does.
You never know what you're going to get.
No. You don't.
Yeah, and it's not like like the blonde one looks like a wig, right? Like it doesn't really look.
That
like
one is not real hair too. So you got it right.
The brown one.
It's like yeah. You wouldn't know.
That looks awesome.
I pull it off all the time, like halfway through a meal or something, and freak people out. Or they have no idea, and they just start laughing. Real. They just start laughing though. There's something about seeing the bald guy after. It's almost like when in Hook, when Dustin Hoffman loses his pirate hair and he's just this gross old man. They're like, oh,
why aren't you vlogging?
You look like Jared Leto now. You look like the guy on the ground. I always feel like I look at that guy on Groundhog's Day that like goes up and tries to get a bid for
the insurance guy.
Yes, or no, that one. No, that's even worse. It was the cameraman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I go from looking like Jared Leto to the cameraman on Groundhog's Day. It's like the quick transformation.
Why aren't you vlogging every day?
I can't. Oh, I should, but it's a lot of work.
I've known you for 25 minutes, and I would subscribe right now.
That's a lot of work.
You are just all over. Like, well, you just need to hire somebody to follow you.
No, I have.
Oh my gosh, it would be amazing.
Yeah, no, that's Life with Scott. Have you not seen my YouTube channel?
Well, I haven't yet.
That's where the golf thing is.
I just learned about
but
you.
It's
I can only follow these so
But
fast.
it's really hard to blog every day or vlog.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was with so Shay Carl is he had for 9 years straight every day he live casted. He was the first. He created
Live casted.
Pretty much. I mean, whatever you could do. Well, no, sorry. He daily vlogged, but he even did these live things almost all the time. And he and his wife and family were the first to do it. They were called the Shaytards. Yeah, wow. That's a weird name, but that's. And then he started
I don't think
this
you
thing.
Can't use that name anymore, can you?
No, it's just his name. He still calls it Shaytards.
Okay.
He started this thing called Maker Studios that Disney ended up buying. He had tons of success because he was just the first doing this thing.
Well, that's Gary Vee, right? He's big time blogger.
Brandon Burchard, he just did a post like 5,111 consecutive days of content.
Wow.
That's bananas. Like 14 years. He's made a piece of content every single day for 14 years. I
I'm all into bowling now. That's like I have 2 new hobbies. We'll talk about it in the intro, but there's like all the PBA bowlers. There's been this like uptick in bowling again. And it's because there's all these young bowlers that are vlogging.
Oh, wow.
It's like every other day they're hiring people to follow them for their tournaments, their qualifiers,
or they're TikToking, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, my brother just moved here from Texas, and his next door neighbor in Orem, they came up and like we're the something family, and we're TikTokers. And he's like, "What does this mean?" Well, every day they're out doing skits in their front lawn and bouncing around.
We've had a couple guests like that.
So, but they're monetizing it or something.
Oh,
It's working for them. They're full-time TikTokers.
So, family. Scott, I want to learn a little bit about you because you're fascinating.
Yeah, we got to dig a little deeper here. I want to see how this all started.
Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
My earliest memories are in California.
Okay.
So I was born in Utah.
Okay.
In Park City. My dad was a ski bum at Park City, and so I was born up in. It used to be called. It's had like 3 names. So now
Park West.
Park West.
Yep.
Park West when I was born.
That was my first ski resort.
Yeah. So that's where
Wolf Mountain and Canyons.
Wolf Mountain and Canyons, and now Park City or whatever.
Well, now it's just Park City Mountain. Yeah, it's like all one
4
thing.
names. But the house is still there. It's one of the oldest places, right on the Cabriolet is the little condos and
just the Park West condos.
Yeah.
Like the old, wow.
Yeah, so I stayed there sometimes because we saw it. And
I was a lifty up there for like 4 years.
Really?
Like the end of Park West, beginning of Wolf Mountain, and then the first year at Canyons.
We're talking 90s.
Yeah.
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 So I don't remember that. I think I might have one memory, but we went to California or to Indiana or something, and then California for most of my youth was Bay Area, Concord, Walnut Creek until high school. My family moved back, or middle school. Right in the middle school, my family moved to Alpine, Utah.
No way.
And I grew up in Alpine, Utah.
Okay. I've kind of been everywhere that you've been.
Yeah.
I grew up in Southern California, but Park West was like all through high school. Yeah. That's where I rode. Yeah. And then I've even lived in Walnut Creek and Concord.
Crazy. Wow.
Selling alarms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
doing that
all over the place.
Just pretty much spent every day in what's that rough little town right there? That was Coach Carter. Remember the basketball movie?
Yeah.
Richmond.
Oh, Richmond.
That's where I sold alarms.
That's a rough town.
It's the hood, but they all have good credit. It was really weird. It was really weird. Dude, I got like 20 guns off the street. I'm sleeping in a grocery store parking lot one day in Richmond. I look over. It was like the highest murder rate of any summer they've ever had. This dude pulls up, pops his trunk. These guys are pulling AKs looking at it, these 3 black dudes. And I'm like, I lean back in the van with my cell phone, call the cops. And I stayed there frozen the whole time they got arrested because I didn't want them to see some van pull away. And it was wild.
That's wild stuff.
But yeah, the Bay Area is beautiful. Well, that's cool. And then Alpine. So what did he do? Why was he bouncing around all the time?
He was
ski bum to start.
Yeah, and so we did ski in California too, but he's been like real estate securities and stuff, and so he had a company out there that he started and realized he could bring it wherever he wanted, and so he came here and hired a bunch of. Actually, just had lunch with one of those hires today, and just a bunch of younger kids. Actually, a lot of like his scouts from California end up becoming some of his business partners.
Wow. How cool is that?
It's kind of cool. Actually, now I think about it, because I love these guys. I idolize them.
Like he made a mark, right?
For
like
sure.
That's really cool. So are you your father's son? It kind of sounds like it. Sounds like he's.
I would say out of all the of all the 4 boys that they had, I am the only other entrepreneur, which is weird.
Wow.
So yeah, so he was, even though he wasn't like doing startups, but it was more like, like a traditional broker dealer, real estate. There's anything you start
Still
from
have
scratch.
some balls, though,
Everything. No, I'm saying anything you start from scratch is startup, but it's just like we don't talk the same language because he's been in more real estate and finance. I'm over here in tech and like consumer products. But
back then there wasn't
a lot of what.
Kind of wild, right?
Yeah, no. And he said, but then he started all those, he started the momentum climbing gyms. If you ever been climbing indoors, and he does.
I don't climb. I'm sorry.
And he does a whole bunch of weird. He's just always doing things.
Did he do that?
He climbed Everest.
Did he do that?
He climbed Everest
3 times. He went out there to try to get
Shut your
there.
mouth. Summited.
But as an old dude with no real knees left.
Oh,
wow.
So he just doesn't stop. He wins bike races still. Yeah, he doesn't stop. But he's kind of embarrassing me now because I have the same name. He's Gregory Scott Paul. I'm Gregory Scott Paul II.
He doesn't paint his nails.
I'm out making a fool of myself with my
wearing
nails
wigs.
painted. All my brothers in town are like, they don't know, like, is this good or bad that Scott Paul's talking about us on LinkedIn? Like, is it going to get me fired or is it going to get me promoted? They don't know yet.
But it all fit. Like, I've known you for 15 minutes and it all just makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it clicks.
Yeah.
Like it fits your personality, and everyone is so refreshed by people like you. You know what I mean?
I do think you're right. We are refreshed by.
We all want to have the balls to do what you're doing.
Well, and I've kind of realized that it's, for me, I call it startup comedy because I'm not a stand-up comedian. I don't know anything about comedy, but like the business world takes itself so seriously.
Oh, you're not kidding.
So seriously. And it's like, we just need to sit down and laugh and not think that like, this is all like, we're all little kids. We're all lost boys in Neverland trying to be grown-up pirates and like make companies and stuff. But like, honestly, like the best stuff comes when you just keep remembering you're a kid and you get to that creative, level. And so
what a great way to define that. Yeah. Like, cause like we were just talking before you came in, like I'll feel guilty about, we had a podcast yesterday and the guy canceled on us and I text Andrew, I was like, well, at least it got me into work, I guess. Because I've been in like a total burnout phase. Like this is probably the 3rd day I've been in here in 3 months. Oh. And I keep feeling guilty about it. And it's like, you know what? Some really cool things have happened during that 3 months. And it's like, it's okay. Like,
own it.
Everybody is like, when are you going to open another one? I'm like,
maybe never.
Maybe never. Like, and that's okay. But sometimes, you get caught up in like, I'm supposed to be growing. I'm supposed to be doing this. I've got to be doing this. And it's like, dude, enjoy the fact that I don't need to be here.
Enjoy that. And then the other thing is enjoy, like, just be human with relationships. Even if it's like from other companies and stuff, we're also formal in this like outreach thing and this, sales process and talking to customers. And like, I just like,
and the penis measuring contest.
There's all this stuff going on. And I'm just like, let's just be human. If you were at a family reunion with like your family and friends, you'd be a different person. Try bringing that person to the business world.
For sure.
And it actually helps. It only helps.
It does so much. I remember someone told me, it's like, stop being human doings and be a human being. Right, because we get so stuck.
I'm learning so much. I'm so deeply affected right now.
I have not watched the show yet to know if he's having fun or kidding with that.
Jeez, no, that's human doings.
Yeah,
there are so many human doings.
Yeah, and so it's like be a human being.
Yep. And the serendipity thing, you keep using that word.
We have breakthroughs here.
We're having some. That's why the podcast is good for me. It's like therapy.
Okay.
Because so many people have so much to like teach us, right? You can learn something from everyone. Well, and this homeless guy walked in today.
What's
with
funny
a
about
fanny
that?
pack.
He made a comment. He's like, I don't know if we're interviewing a homeless guy.
No, I think I said he had hail hit his car on the way. I'm like, was it the homeless dude over by like on the freeway asking for money? I was like, maybe it was that homeless guy throwing rocks.
Oh my god!
And like you walked in, I'm like, dude, I think the homeless guy was throwing rocks. The truck is here. And then you told the story about somebody thinking you were homeless at Pioneer Park.
Well, and I've got a limp, a limp with my ACL. So when I met those guys at Pioneer Park, I had a limp too. So I totally get why he wanted to offer me money and he go my merry way. And then when I said I just want to get food, he said, "Come with us. We'll buy you some food." I thought they knew I just wanted to hang out, that I was at this business conference right before. They had no idea.
Funny.
They thought they had a homeless guy. So that says a lot about them too. This group of friends. They're
good people.
They're good people.
That's awesome.
They're willing to take anyone with them, right?
Yeah, in fact, it's actually
we
Jordan.
won't buy you meth.
I'll tell you who this guy is.
He'll
He'll love me telling the story. It's a guy named Jordan Harbertson. He's started that company that does mountain ops. Have you heard of
Ops?
Yeah.
I almost bought a Mountain Ops hat yesterday.
There you go. That's the guy that took me in.
No way.
He's the guy that introduced me to Dude Perfect. This whole thing.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
All
He
that
does stuff with
serendipity
them.
came from
Serendipity, man.
from me getting mixed up as a homeless guy.
See, and that's the thing. You just got to be out doing it, out doing your thing.
Yeah.
And just.
Scott, where does your entrepreneur journey start? Like,
Wow.
It started in I mean, there's like, truthfully, it's always on. So like, since you're a kid, you're hacking. I actually had a huge discovery that happened actually, it was probably this month. I did a baseball card post about a King Griffey Jr. card that
1989 Tops, baby.
I have one. I have.
Which one?
Upper Deck.
Oh, okay.
Remember that classic one?
Yes.
I think I might have one of those. I have 2 sets of 1989, complete sets.
Mine are the Tops. Mine aren't the Upper Decks. Mine
I
are
have
the
a
Tops.
top.
The Upper Deck. I have a lot, but that Upper Deck came out that year.
Yep.
Upper Deck.
You can picture the pin.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
I would go to the card shop as a kid, all the way from when I was 7 to 12, and in Concord. I was in Concord at that time, and and I realized like a lot of everything I learned about business I learned with cards.
Yep.
I mean, my Beckett, looking at values, trading.
Were you
thinking about
signing
scarcity.
the cards and selling them autographed? Because I know somebody that that did that as a child.
That's true. Just so you know, that's true.
Jose Canseco's
Oh my gosh! You don't want
down.
to say that right now. He's raising money. You can't. You don't want.
He was
people
7.
thinking-
He was 7.
We love you, Scott.
Yeah. You might want to edit that part out.
No, he'll love it. He'll love it. We don't. It's
He'll
Scott.
get mad at me.
Yeah, that's so good. It's some Scott. It was me. We love you, Scott. I'm talking to myself. That little childhood Scott.
There we go.
So everything. I did this post about this card and it was actually about it was about the Cal Ripken Air that like was worth a lot of money, and it was just so interesting that air cards are the thing that's a mistake is actually.
Right.
Has a lot of value. And that was my whole post was like,
it's like sneakers.
It's like, I'm different. I'm very different than most of the people. I do things different. When I go to a board meeting in this tech scene here in Utah,
right,
and I'm dressed like this with painted fingernails, wearing a wig, it's different. And
you'll show up to a board meeting like that.
I was at a board meeting today. Yeah. This is my outfit.
Well, no, with the wig. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They love it. They actually helped me get money on this last round.
It's good for them too. 'Cause like, listening to you talk for 1 minute, like, yeah, you have a little bit of that, like, what I'm thinking of is what's that famous surf movie, Sean Penn, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen that?
I've never seen it. You just lined it up for me.
Gosh, like,
it's gonna happen.
But the second you hear you talk, you're a very smart, sharp, fun guy, and it just matches. But nowadays I feel like you can get away with that, which is good. Like, we need to chill out, like you said, like, take ourselves a little. That's one thing about Todd Peterson. I'll say, like, I used to make fun of him like crazy because I worked for Pinnacle Security.
Yeah.
And to this day, he still dresses like, I've never seen him in anything that wasn't a t-shirt and a flat bill hat. But I kind of always respected that.
Yeah.
And now I think the guy's amazing. Like, now that I've actually gotten to know him, he's an amazing person. But I kind of like that he always did that. And I 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it was even harder to be, kind of free flowing you are.
I really think it was. And
yeah, it's changed a lot the last couple of years.
Right.
I mean, even in my industry in finance, I mean, I was in a suit and a shirt and tie, and now it's like, I'll show up in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be dressed up. I'm like, no, this is.
Be comfortable, man.
This is what's
COVID.
This is what you're going to get.
COVID was a little bit of an explosion to all our egos, all of anything. Yeah. Like, it just changed it all because now you just had to see the humanity. You couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
And so remember that British guy that has his baby coming in on the little thing, and the mom comes and pulls the kid out like it's the World War III. It was those type of moments happen. We love them because it just shows that we're all the same. And Zoom from your house kind of you couldn't get away from the distraction, the kids and the things going on. And so
I know what you're talking about.
We all got.
He's on the news.
The newscaster, and that His like Asian housekeeper man came
no,
in. It was just like
it was crazy.
Oh, it was the best.
So crazy. Yep.
He was so pissed. You
Yeah.
could just see it all over his face.
So
he was just like
trying to ignore it, kind of like trying to brush her away. And she just comes in.
she was ducking too. Like we can see you. Just
it was one of the better moments. That was actually pre-COVID, even I think. But it was one of the. I think it was one of my favorite moments. And another one is when this girl. I remember when I was at Disney. So ironically, I sold a company at one point to Shay Carl's company, Maker Studios. And I didn't know Shay then. I didn't know him after, even 2 years after. I got to know Shay this last month. I even stayed up with him in Idaho, and that's where I heard like I don't want to be an everyday vlogger. It's mentally exhausting.
Oh, for sure.
Don't want to do that. But I was at Maker Studios at Disney because Disney bought Maker Studios, and this video comes out while we're there because we're launching the new Star Wars. First time, the Force Awakens, or whatever that one was in 15.
When you said we, why we?
Because we felt when you're at Disney, you launched that thing. Okay. Like I'm a Disney employee, and my team is doing the promotion on social to bring out the new movies, all the new movies. Like I can remember all the ones that we did while I was there for 2 years. We were the one bringing influencers to screenings, getting social promotion. That's what our company did that they bought.
Okay.
So you get lucky like this sometimes. Disney gets a lot of these because they're beloved characters. But do you remember Chewbacca Mom?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Yes.
That happened while I was there, and I
bought one of those the day I saw
right?
it.
The genuine laughter, that moment that happens there, that it's just organic and everybody knows. And then you just loved it. You fell in love with it. I mean, you go back to that and watch it again. You'll have the same feeling because it's been 6 years. You'll have that same feeling all again. But that came out, and that was just like so lucky that we got a product that was like sold through Target or Kohl's or something. It was just really good for us that like the genuine good content that went viral. That's just like that was what we were supposed to do on our own, like try to force that type of thing happen. But when it happens, just naturally because of
awesome.
Chewbacca Mom.
She was so awesome. Oh, he folded up. Yeah. There it is.
But that's a lot of like what I've been doing the last 12 years. It's like a good 10 minutes long. It just keeps getting better.
I just got to go right to the Chewbacca mask.
I can see it.
That noise, it's the mask. Here, listen.
She just falls apart.
Like,
it just keeps going.
I gotta stop it.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Right? What is that feeling we're all feeling? Like, how do we get more of that?
For real.
How do we get more of that? And that's what I want to be. That is my mission on LinkedIn. At the end of the day, really, is to not create belly laughter, but to just take everyone down a notch with subjects that we really can't do that with.
Why did you choose LinkedIn over other platforms?
It just happened. I've been doing it for so long because I've always kind of been an entrepreneur. So LinkedIn was a network.
I've never focused on LinkedIn. Like
not many people do because it's not really it wasn't even a content platform for so long. It was like a connection network.
Yeah.
But it just kind of happened. And then I've just stayed really, really consistent.
Yeah.
Probably the only thing in my entire life that I'm consistent with out of brushing my teeth and posting in the morning. I get on the toilet. I think I go to scroll my notes and I have all these ideas I want to post about. I'm like, well, what am I feeling today? Half the time I don't feel like any of them. So I just make something up that I'm mad about or happy about and put it in. Usually it's on the toilet. You get up and you know how you feet fall asleep.
Yeah, because you've been there for so long.
Yeah, because I kind of edit it. I keep editing it, and I'm horrible at grammar, so I'm editing it. And
you're sponsored by Preparation H.
And that is my morning. That is my brush my teeth, do that, and then whatever happens the rest of the day.
Witch hazel wipes. I use witch hazel wipes.
But I feel productive after a post, and so I'm like, I did my work. It's like I came into work.
You're right.
The guy didn't show up, but I got here.
I need to post. I just looked. June 8th was my last Bam Bam's Barbecue Instagram post. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, you don't always have to even post. Here's one of the things that I tell people, and people want me to do like a book or like a kind of a one-on-one guide, because there is a lot of wisdom in how to use it better than you could use it. First of all, use it, post. But people think they have to post about the company they work for, which is you got to get over that hump. And a lot of people think they can't post because of the company they work for. And my brothers were all at ExxonMobil. They could not really openly do something, but they could. It's like they don't own the account, so it's kind of this like it's this interesting thing that's like you can do whatever you want, and you might have a talking to, but So I'm encouraging people to just post a little bit more.
Don't post about Exxon like Valdez or anything. Killing all the ducks in Alaska 30 years ago.
But that's what's interesting is someone should, in my opinion, like if someone at Exxon started making dialogue about what everyone thinks of when they think Exxon, it's like most of us just go right to the Exxon Valdez.
Just own it.
Yeah, but it would be interesting to have a conversational piece on LinkedIn from an Exxon employee. Like they weren't even really that involved. Their name happened to be on it. It was I believe it was a chartered third party. They just had it was the Valdez just screwed them over.
Wasn't that boat just like the Valdez or something?
Yes.
But because it was oil going to Exxon
or whatever it was, it
was something like that. And then it was the Exxon Valdez. Yeah. And it's like here we are, 30 years later, and we still
remember that.
Second you hear Exxon, that's what you think. Let's don't get started on BP. You guys are
that one too. Yeah.
100 times worse. You have a movie about it.
Same with the same funny thing. In California, growing up, someone died eating a hamburger from Jack in the Box.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember this?
All the rat poison or whatever.
Yes, something happened. Something happened. And that's like, what do you think when I see Jack in the Box?
Yep. I go there immediately. I love it.
I'll still eat there, but that story
it's so much safer now.
Yeah,
it's like a plane crash, right? That's the airline you fly on the week after.
You're exactly right, but it's just weird how we remember Exxon Valdez. I remember that from.
I was in 7th grade when that happened. I remember we all stopped going to Jack in the Box for a while. But now I'm in Utah, so whenever I see a Jack, I'm going. Like, oh man, ultimate cheeseburger, sourdough.
Something about their cheese, right? That cheese
so good.
Is so synthetic.
99-cent tacos. So yeah, you can get breakfast all day. I love Jack in the Box. Surprised it's not here yet. But.
So you had a question that we took this. This is probably how it always goes. But like, you want to know my journey, and we went to Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
So,
rat poison. There's oil spills.
There's so many fun things we could talk about because you've done so much cool stuff. I'm just thinking what's going to be the most beneficial, and people love hearing like the story behind the people on like how they got where they got, or the trials they were going. And so like your first couple of businesses, did you start out successful, or did it take a while to find kind of your footing in the entrepreneur space?
Yeah, no, it took a while, and I always thought that for everybody it took like 5, 6, 7 shots. But then I have friends, Garrett G, the local, first try. Did at the park with Scan.
Yeah.
Then he does a studio. Then he does his family travel thing. I'm like, so some people actually connect every time. But then I got to know him really well since.
There's got to be so much more.
There's such a backstory that's not entrepreneurship per se, but it's the reason he can do what he does, and it's stuff I could not believe from just youth, just feeling a certain way in his youth and family stuff,
overcoming things.
Yeah. So we all have these. Yeah. So whether it was previous businesses,
he's ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Just as a person.
Yeah. And I used to be like doubtful and envious and just think he's just getting lucky, and then I realized no, it's intentional how he does things, how he raises, and it's amazing. Tons of respect. A lot of people watch YouTubers and kind of like there's
you discount it, right?
Yeah,
we talk about that all the time in here. How everyone thinks like
he just made it
now
easy.
They're famous.
Just beautiful.
They were just like overnight success, but then you'd like dig in.
Yeah.
And like you said, it may not be like 10 years of like business failures.
No, but there's something that's driving him differently that he's had to learn. So for mine was several attempts that just didn't pan out. I've been trying every grade of my life. I remember the business I started in that grade.
Right.
I was a missionary in Milan, and I straight up tried to start businesses out there to meet people.
I sold. I'm
kid you not.
I burned CDs on my mission and sold them to other missionaries.
I was in seventh. I was 16, 17. No, even younger when that came out. So it was just a different age. I made most of my money in high school on burnt CDs. On Weezer, on Weezer's album. Yeah, dude. Tons of money.
Like
I hope Rivers Como sues me because I just want to meet him.
Oh my
Smashing
God.
Pumpkins, Chili Peppers, man. I can see all the. I've made so much money because I'd go to CompUSA, spend $1,400 on a burner when they're brand new, 1-speed, right?
Oh, they were so.
I didn't have that money. I would have to take it back so my credit card bill didn't go through.
So we kind of did the same thing.
Exactly, dude. This is it.
We did that on a mission. Is that bad?
No, we are hackers, brother. We are soul brothers. This is so good.
I had all the legal church CDs. And I'm just like, all these nerds that follow the rules want these CDs.
All these nerds.
I'd go to mission conference, and I was just like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go.
That is probably
here
the
you
best.
go. I actually did that in the
is
Tennessee
probably the
Knoxville
best.
mission my last 4 months.
Oh, this is good. I did not think I was going to get you to.
I did a lot of
disclose that
good things on the mission, people. So just relax, okay?
I know of a guy who turned all the church computers on his mission into Bitcoin miners.
Oh my
And
gosh!
and made a lot of it.
Brilliant.
Right?
Like just recently.
No, years ago
Hey,
when it was
really?
really cheap.
Church got tithing, I'm sure. Right?
So there's
Maybe
probably-
they have some crypto
You think
now.
those old beater computers doing genealogy are just worthless? They got crypto wallets on them.
Why are these so slow all the time?
No, and they got crypto wallets. There's probably a church out there in the middle of Illinois that's got like 40 Bitcoin on it.
Oh my gosh! Could you imagine?
Dude, we should do a whole Da Vinci Code to go find these.
That-
It's like
That would be so it's like Outer Banks, but we're looking for the Bitcoin.
at the church computers. My kids are in love with that. I had no idea until like 2 weeks ago how popular this
All
Outer
the
Banks.
30-year-old high schoolers that are cast for that show. Wow.
So what's the story behind Wooly? Is that your current full-time job?
No, that's actually that's the company I've spent the longest time at.
Okay.
I started that after Disney.
Okay.
It was at Disney, my job was to take creators and connect them with brands.
Okay.
And the software in between. You know, we
Is that how you met Scott? How did you meet Scott? Because he was trying
That's
to
how
do
a gig
something
was.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, we've been in the same circles for a while, and so then I'm like, It's a lot of mechanical turkey. You know, a lot of people having to do all that work. Our software worked okay, but it was and you pay a premium to Disney for like they would mark up all of these influencers. So you wanted to do a campaign that if you went direct, it would cost $50K, maybe $100K. If you go through us, it's $250K, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And these big brands, they just pay it anyway. But I'm like, man, I'd like to get some of that spread.
Yeah.
So I went and made a software that kind of let the brands manage, kind of find and manage their own influencers.
Almost like a marketplace for them.
Not as much even a marketplace, but just almost a CRM. Like the one thing I never did really bring was they couldn't go and pick from creators. They had to kind of go bring their own.
Got it.
So they still had to like use a Disney or somebody to go find the creators, but I at least helped it so you could manage and work with them again and again versus like you would kind of own the relationship with this software. And it's still around, still doing pretty much just that. But yeah, so that's what right after Disney, while I was still there, I started that up. Of course, I mean, I'm a troublemaker. That's what I do. So, I'm getting an earn out while I'm like tinkering on 4 other startups, and Wooly was one that happened, and got a great co-founder and raised some money for that one, and I led as CEO for over 5 years until just 2 months ago. I hired my mission companion to fix it, just like he did in Italy. Fix my district, this younger. You know, I guess we're talking missionary stuff here already.
That's
so
right.
for the audience, the Mormon boys go on 2-year adventures when they're 18, 19. That's all you can really say it. And so we have so many memories from that. So yeah, this guy comes to Milan in 2000, summer of.
You're on the mission.
2000, yeah, or 2001, yeah, I've been something like that. And, 2001, he like opens the blinds, sweeps the place up, and, and he's like, "Let's go do some baptizing." And sure enough, we met a Peruvian family and had the only baptism on my mission.
I was going to say it has to be a South American in Europe. If you want to baptize somebody in Europe, it has to be a South American, right? That's pretty much what Trey said.
It's true. Yeah. So anyway, that's he came over and flipped Wooly around. Now now we're doing great sales, product, everything.
Why Wooly?
Why Wooly? What?
Like why the name Wooly? What is?
I think at beginning we were like trying to be like it was to get more analytics on your followers, and I can't remember what it was, but our designer made a sheep, and then we
Easy one to remember.
Yeah, it's easy. I think it's going to get a rebrand though, so I'm not in that anymore. But it's probably going to go.
Geez, all the brands. I'm on the website right now, like just looking at the brands tickering across the bottom of this. Like, holy crap!
I haven't seen it recently. Is it? What
stored?
brands are there? We have
Klein,
some of our best
Blender
ones.
Bottle, Boot Barn, Cotopaxi,
Cotopaxi's a good one. I love those guys.
iFit.
Yeah.
So how did you become like an angel investor? Has that always been something that you've done?
That was a company that I was doing. No, I had a company that was selling iPad cases for like for commercial use, like kiosks and point of sale, and that company I started right when the iPad came out. So pretty much 2000 end of 2010. Metal case. It was like a metal, really crazy metal industrial case that just made with like laser cutters and bent metal, and it was just great timing. Just a wave of this iPad, and people trying to use them everywhere. Conference room scheduling and credit card processing, like with Square. Point of sale, like at restaurants like yours, we're starting to get them. So that grew fast. Like I'm not a great operator or organized individual, but I finally started hiring people, and we grew a hardware company to about 30. No, I think it was like 50 people in that organization out in Salt Lake, and it got bought by a company who does like loss prevention hardware. So like if you're in Costco and trying to steal a phone, you can't steal it because there's that cord.
Right.
That's the group that bought that company in 2014. And then I first time in my life, I finally had that moment where you're an entrepreneur, and now you're like, that was the payout. That was why I was working for nothing for like 14 years, getting my schooling, and then kind of accruing this just one time big payout. And it was a big payout. It wasn't so big. It was not crazy big. It wasn't life. It wasn't retirement stuff, but it was life changing.
Yeah.
And it was huge for me then because I've been so frugal. I've never my wife and I never really spent any money or paid ourselves. So our bank account looks fundamentally different than it ever has.
Yeah.
And my first instinct was to go invest into startups. So I started something called Hyperactive Capital. The company was called Armor Active, and I started Hyperactive, and I brought my same exact team in to kind of help me. Like, let's go out and find deals. Let's go get into new companies.
Was this because somebody told you were hyperactive like 100 million times?
100 million times growing up. Yep, absolutely. Why I call it Hyperactive Capital. Yeah.
I love it.
Like
We're brothers.
I had the pills, and I would get like toys if I took them and stuff. And I didn't want to take them. I'd hide them or throw them away because I'm like,
really?
I'm who I am. Damn it.
First time I took the pill, I was like, I can see.
Well,
everything's coming together.
So that's interesting. I didn't take them.
See, I didn't take until I was 22. After my mission was the first time somebody told me I had ADHD, and I'm very open about it.
I'm third grade. I'm talking. It's like 1988 or 7, and I'm supposed to be taking these things.
Wow.
And I would get the behavior notes at school.
Like he's so smart, but he's pure F's. That's it. That was me.
I took the Ritalin though 2 years ago, and that really didn't do good for me.
I've never done that side.
Or Adderall. Sorry, Adderall.
Oh, Adderall.
Yeah, and it really didn't do well for me.
Interesting.
Woke up crying to my wife, like fizzy body, like what am I doing?
It's crazy. Like there's like, I want to say there's like 60 of them now.
Yeah,
and it just. I mean, it's great. I've got a daughter. Everyone's so different, but
I've got a daughter. I think all my daughters are probably on some cocktail right now.
Yeah. I'm on a new one that just came out like a year ago, and it's so expensive, but it works amazing. It's the same company that makes Adderall. It's called Mydeus.
Yeah.
But it's a one a day. Like none of the one a days ever worked for me, but this one worked great, and it sucks. It's like $300 a month.
I went to natural medication. I'm done with that.
What does that mean?
Cannabis.
That's what I thought it meant. Okay, cool. You just came out with that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's be honest, guys. It's going to come, and we're going to all be using it soon because it's so much better than the synthetic stuff. So.
Yeah, the whole stigma about marijuana is so funny to me. But
I'll destigmatize it here soon.
Good.
I've got a brand coming.
I was going to say that was going to be my next question. So, are you involved in that?
It's going to be for the Mormons. This is literally cannabis for Mormons in every way. All the branding. CBD. Yeah. So I say these people, they're all taking opiates and they're all depressed and angry and stuff. It's like, guys, Snoop figured this out years ago.
Longevity, baby.
Oh, jeez.
So then you started doing the angel stuff. You started Wooly. So like right now, how many businesses are you involved in?
An angel investor, probably 70.
Wow.
Yeah, as a like leaning in daily contact.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
And then heavy involvement.
All of that.
I'm not a balanced person, so I don't.
Okay. I
Like
guess
my marriage is like feels like it's on the rocks, and then excellent the next. Like it's a bipolar life.
Yeah.
And it's just
I guess more balance. How do you keep it organized? Do you
I don't.
Okay.
I don't use a laptop. I don't. If it's something that's not on my calendar, it does not happen. So I guess there's tools out there. There's this phone right here tells me where to go.
Yeah.
And I have this Volley app that I invested in that's it's like Marco Polo.
Okay.
And it just allows me to I don't want to meet people. I don't want to do Zoom because that's just such a huge chunk of time. I love doing these. Podcasts are my favorite thing, but
Yeah.
but I put everyone to asynchronous meetings so that I have an ongoing conversation with thousands of people in video. So it's rich. So I get to see their face. I know them. And I'll show it right now because it's my favorite app, actually. But that's like, it's I'm going to let technology do the hard work.
Yeah.
What's going on right now, but it's not.
Sure.
So I'm not organized at all. I'm a total mess. My wife is a lot more organized. But I just have to find things that, as long as I remember to plug my phone in at night and the next morning it's charged, there's enough tools on there to that ping up that make me do at least urgent work. Now that long-term stuff like writing a book or, doing the stuff that I probably need to do once in a while. I remember Stephen Covey has this quadrants thing and there's we always just kind of do the urgent things and not the really important. So my life's probably just all urgent. So I'm just always putting out fires maybe, but I feel like in that process, I'm getting big shit done.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I still feel like stuff's moving. I mean, I know it's moving because I see it happening.
So your top 3 favorite technology right now that's helping you? Volley
is probably the number one. Josh Little, great founder here in town, volleyapp.com. And I bought a URL.
Wait, Josh Little?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's my neighbor. He's my ward.
No kidding.
Yeah, I live right down the street from him.
That's Volley. He's the best.
That's crazy.
One of my closest friends. I talk to him all the time on it. And
you're like with the eye, Josh Little. Like his eye, he's half blind in his eye now.
I was helped that company he was trying to do. He was telling me about it the day it hit.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
I love Josh. So whenever he speaks in church, he keeps it real. He is my favorite. You would love Josh Little.
He's,
we should have him on, actually.
Oh, yeah. You haven't had Josh on.
Him and I have talked about that before.
Let's just talk to him.
Pickles.
Let's talk to him on Volley real fast. Hey, Josh, we're coming in hot from a live podcast with no other than.
I need some pickles. Make me some pickles.
So that's recording, and he got a notification that just went to him.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back during this podcast. He'll probably get back on because this is his day right now.
So cool.
All day long on this. So that's a tool that I can do. I can see more deals, angel deals, more opportunities, meet more people than any of the venture funds in town because they're you have to set up an appointment. They come into the place. They're you schedule back and forth with the secretary for who knows how long to get the appointment. Meanwhile, I bought ScottyTalk.com and people can go to that link and it instantly starts an asynchronous video conference with me.
No way.
And I can watch in 2x speed. So I can't. You're talking way too much. I'll talk. Yeah, everything's in 2x. My whole life. The weird thing is, I actually kind of feel like my entire life is in 2 to 3x.
For sure.
It's weird.
Do you listen to your books on that speed?
Oh yeah.
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 I've been doing 1.5. Yeah. It helps.
Some you have to go 1.5. Some you can do 3 depending on the author.
Right. Some people do. They read it really slow, but
my life, just life in general. So come on, Josh, come up first. So Volley's a big one. And then making sure that people know that you suck at stuff before you join them. And so they know, I come in with such low expectation when I get into something. I say, guys, I don't do anything. I don't have a computer. I use this. I'm not, and so there's not this shock, man, Scott's so lazy. I guess he kind of declared that the second we met. So I declare I don't have any expectations. I don't give anyone any reason to have crap on me later because I get it all out right in the first time we meet. If you still want this after, then let's go.
So what would you say, I don't know how to ask the question. What is your superpower? If you're hey, I don't get crap done, but obviously you do. You've been extremely successful. So if you were to say
Maybe it's influence others to help me get things done, right?
Okay. Like maybe finding the right people to get it. Like
finding
who, not how.
Yeah, I think there's implementers and there's visionaries. And I took the Strengthsfinder thing from Gallup, and it says I have out of the top 10 strengths, I have 0 execution strengths. And I have a coach that helps me and tells me all this. 0. So I should not co-found a company with a person like me.
Yeah,
because we won't get shit done.
Yeah.
We'll sit
we'll
around.
Never work together.
We'll do like 4-hour
damn it.
podcasts. Yeah, we'll get something.
Dang it. I'll just cater your cool events. I'll execute there.
So I have a lot of these like other strengths that are one is strategic thinking. That's my number one, which doesn't make sense to me, but I think at the end of the day, back to like baseball cards.
Yeah.
I have my brain is always, an idea was second, ideation, futurist was third, and then woo, and then
what about like connector? Like I feel like you're the guy that knows. Plus, I feel like you're the person that people like executors want to be around because there's a part of you that
because
wants,
I can get them excited about a vision,
saying.
And they feel it, and they have that execution.
Well, and they wish that. I think that people that are executors want to be a little bit more free flowing, like you. And I think that it's polarity, right? Like we're opposites attract.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people like you or me can work with someone like, I would say you two are executors. Like you're very creative. No? Okay.
You should take the test though.
Yeah. Okay. Brent is the executor. Like we can work really well together.
Take the test.
Me and my GM, Annie, it's the same thing. Like, and she doesn't judge me for how I am. Like she just knows, and she doesn't have to ask. Like she just does the stuff she knows I won't get done.
That's awesome.
And it's amazing.
It's a $50 test to get your full 34 or 36.
What's this called?
It's called the Strengthsfinder, and it's Gallup. It's a really popular. There's a few personality tests. This is one of the highest ones, especially for corporations. Wow. Strengthsfinder. Yeah, I'll introduce you a guy named on Volley. Actually, his name's Micah Lauren, and he's a coach for it, and he teaches you all about the strengths and kind of helps you.
That's cool.
And that's so I got to get my wife to do it because it'd be really interesting to see where she's at on that. I mean, you kind of know ahead of time just how people are. They'll have strengths, especially if it's spouses. Like you usually have your opposites. And you got together because you have a balance of strengths. Yeah.
Tony Robbins talks about polarity all the time. People say like I married somebody totally different than me. It's like, well, that's good. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
What is your wife like? How long have you guys been married? You have kids?
We have 17 years of marriage, almost 18, maybe 18 almost. Yeah. Oh, no, I think it is 18. So we're 18 of June, and then 3 girls, 15. 13 and 6.
Wow.
And she is opposite of she's reserved. She doesn't use social media. Yeah. She doesn't know what's going on. Like more people know what's going on in my life than her for sure. She gets informed of like really big stuff via the most random people because of like something I declare on one of the networks, and she doesn't have Instagram. I mean, I think she has them all.
Did you see what your husband said today?
All the time. All the time.
Marriage counseling?
Yeah, we've done that a few times.
Boy.
It's good.
God, it's like my kindred spirit right here.
Yeah. No, I like it. All my kids are in therapy, man. We're a hot mess.
It's not a hot mess. You're normal.
I know.
Like we're taking the stigma out of it.
That's a good thing.
I love it. We're all a hot mess. Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah, one of my daughters is going to a boarding school in Connecticut for dyslexia and ADHD. Yeah, she's going straight.
Is it really a boarding?
The boarding school.
It's like
it's like the X-Men School of Mutants, man. It's the same thing.
But
it's awesome.
It's a school built for
people learn differently.
Amazing. Yeah. I just met a guy here that has a school for boys in Salt Lake for ADHD. It's never in the same place. Like during the week, they will never go to the same place twice.
That's a good idea.
Oh, I got to remember the name of it, but that's like my dream. Like my like philanthropic dream is to someday open a school for people with ADHD.
That's awesome. Stay in touch with me on that one.
Amazing.
My wife will be there with you and me.
Wow.
I mean, my ADHD is probably so bad, and that's why I'm in so many things. I can't.
It's your superpower, man. That's your superpower.
I can't stick. I'm so proud that you have done Bam Bams for as long as you. I mean, years and years.
Yeah.
I can't. Most things I can't get past. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but I just have to move and do something else. Unless I'm growing it or doing the next thing, but I have to be that phase of creation. I always have to be in that state of like doing things that are
Be
not
excited
known.
about something.
Well, it's not just being excited. It's just I like to be where I don't know the answer, and if I know what's going to happen that day, I'm bored. So it's really here. You've got this operation running.
Yeah,
so there's nothing for me to break.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Adderall. So you are the definition of untreated ADHD. But you're channeling it, right?
I guess
there's 1,000 different ways to medicate. Like you're owning it and you're using it to your advantage. And it is, do you know how many amazing CEOs and founders have ADHD? I mean, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And so it's such a cool story. But I love that you talk about the ADHD thing because it's still so misunderstood. Like everyone thinks it's just like, well, everybody kind of has it.
Yeah, well, I think there
true.
is that. Yeah, and I do. A lot of people reach out to me in LinkedIn and tell me stories of a debilitating life because of it, and it's sad because I didn't have the debilitating side, or at least like I'm not in my adult life not being able to hold down a job. Well, I can't hold down a job, but it's not. But it's not causing me to not be able to make ends meet.
Correct.
There are people that it's so severe for that they are having a hard time making ends meet.
Well, there's so many people that won't treat it because that's admitting they have it, which is another really interesting.
Yeah,
like I have a few people that I know that are like that. And it's just like a pride thing. Like I'm not ADHD, and it's like, dude, own it. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, but if you don't treat it, like you're 4 times more likely to get divorced. You're like 10 times more likely to go to jail, get into drugs. Like you have to know what your dopamine's doing.
Yeah.
And you have to channel
I didn't know those. I need to know those stats because that's
those
really
stats
interesting.
are nuts. You should read this book called ADHD 2.0. It just came out like a year ago.
Okay.
And it's the best book I've read so far. But it talks a lot about like naturally medicate. They're very pro medicine.
Yeah.
Like I'm very pro medicine, but they also talk about kind of what you're doing. Like
That's
you just have to own it. Like if you can own it and know you have it.
Yeah.
And figure out a way to make it work for you, then great.
I have so my 6-year-old, we went to like a neuroscientist and everything to figure out what was going on. She's off the check. I mean, she thinks she's an animal, a cheetah. She acts like one. She climbs everything, everywhere.
Just
Doesn't matter.
overactive imagination.
And so we tested her, and he's like, I've never seen this level of ADHD in a female. So my 6-year-old's off. She's off the charts, and it's the point where we can't go certain places. Because if we go to like Health Center Theater or somewhere, she'll climb the scaffolding. She'll get herself into that and go into her world. And the more you try to get her down, it's just like she doesn't have a sense of fear, it's incredible. I love it.
I was going to say, like, to me, hearing this, I think that is so cool.
It is so cool, but it's really hard to go into public places. And just the other day, she blew up in a Walmart, and this lady scoffed at her down and my wife.
That's so hard.
Because she was just screaming and doing something, and she just like made this remark, and my wife gave it to her.
Good.
Gave it to her.
Good.
And not a horrible, not a mean person way, but in like, just one of those looks at you. The lady didn't have a comeback. She just walked away because she knew. But people have to be more sensitive to this. Like kids are not. The parent is not like willingly wanting their kids to act out and do those things. But be cheetahs.
Yeah.
And so it's like most of the time I have seen though a lot of support. Like people realize this kid's not normal at church.
Yeah.
She goes up, and if you don't catch her in time, she's going to go and jump on the chairs, the armrests. That's her balancing beam, is getting across the armrest during someone out there
wild.
talking. And I'm just like, if I go up and chase her, it is going to be a scene of scenes. So I'm like, let's just let her get down. Let's let her come back. But you want to do a notification. Everyone say like, we're not bad parents and we're not chasing her. It's like we know what not to do, and she has a condition that's not allowing her to see this as wrong.
This sounds horrible, but autism has kind of helped with stuff like that.
Exactly,
like a lot of people.
A lot of the same thing.
Because there is some some similarities there, like on the spectrum, but.
We thought it was autism, by the way,
right?
And that's why we had her tested,
and that's totally common. And it's fine. I think I shared this on a previous podcast, but in this book, it talks about how there are so a kid with ADHD hears 20,000 more negative comments about themselves from other people by the time they're 12 than neurotypical kids. 20,000 negative remarks from adults by the time they're 12 years old.
Yeah, I just thought it was normal.
Like it's crazy.
I didn't know there was another way. I just thought my world was that, and I don't know if it must have been 20. I mean, it probably was 20,000. I was always in trouble. And
always.
Yeah.
Dude, I was always untapped potential.
Yeah.
Like, you could do this, you could do this. You're a failure.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the thing that this is all ADHD. Like, I saw it on TV one night. I had a smoker in my backyard the next day. And 4 years later, I opened Bam Bam.
That's awesome.
Like, it was, but I almost lost my wife and kids and almost got divorced. And because it was so like,
yeah, I hear you.
You know, just
it doesn't go
focus.
away. I mean, you're never free from it.
No.
It's going to be with us our whole life.
But now I love it. Like, now it's bowling. I'll probably have a Bam Bam's bowling and barbecue place. Like, my new obsession is bowling and pickleball. Like, I can't get enough of it.
Ball's my thing.
It's so fun.
Well, we're gonna have to do a 2.0 because you got to run.
Oh,
give me 5 minutes to wrap it up, and then we'll do 2.0 or something. Or is this the end of your?
We'll go as long as you want, man.
Well, no, I mean, I can cap it off. I feel like we're just going to have memory lane.
No, and it's great. Like, but see, that's the
but
stuff.
You don't have a subject matter.
That's what people like hearing about. Like, that's very like hearing the stuff about your daughter. Like, that's amazing. Like, people need to be more sensitive. Like, next time they see a kid climbing all over the shelves, like, be cool, be sensitive. Like,
say that's an awesome. Like, if someone went to my wife and said, "What an awesome imagination!" Like, that's like that would just change her day.
I think of. You ever watch Alaskan Bush People?
I know of it, but I haven't watched it.
So they have a kid named Bear.
Oh, really?
And he's probably like 35, but he thinks he is a bear.
Oh.
And he runs and scrapes trees, scratches back, like lives in a tree house. Like, he's super sharp.
Wow.
And he's insanely athletic. But
he's like Mowgli, adult.
He's Bear. Yeah. He's Bear, and
that's cool. I'll have to watch that.
It's really interesting. But they live out in the woods. They're like that, and it's just heaven for that kid. And so, wow, what a story! I want to meet your daughter. That's so cool.
Yeah, I want to get them into some of the content, but my wife's not down for that.
Yeah, I get it. That's hard.
There's an interesting thing because I saw a lot of those kids that, I managed PewDiePie when he was starting out. I not managed directly, but he was in the network at Maker Studios. A lot of these new YouTubers are this Ryan's Toys. That was a network stuff.
Kid.
I just don't know what to do. That one. I just don't know what to do about. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I'm trying like that whole Ryan's thing I wrote to Ryan today. I'm just trying to get over anything that I've had hate towards or envy, but the whole like making your kid a YouTuber is one I still don't know where I'm at yet on it.
Well, especially when the parents, it feels like the parents are like totally cashing in.
Oh, they are.
And they're using their kid to like Ryan's Toys. Like, his annoying ass mom and that laugh, I just makes
I've never really
jump
seen
off
it.
a bridge.
I've never really seen it, but I just know that like it's a lot to have to deal with at that age, and you don't really know at that age if you want to do that thing. You're just gonna do it. Especially the big families. There's like 7-8 people in the family. One of those kids don't want any. Never. Well, one of those kids would be like, "Get my face off that camera." So my wife is like, uber like, don't put kids in the thing, and I actually like that balance that she's brought. But But at the same time, I know that like the story of my daughters with ADHD kind of going to a boarding school or like there are people out there that could connect to that and not feel alone. So at the same time, I'm missing being able to share a full color of a story because I don't have them. And I know from the results I see from LinkedIn posts, people coming back and saying how that's important, that I was able to talk or share that, and this is their experience. I know there would be those type of kids that would be really connect to content that they were a part of. Not just stupid TikToks, but like real content.
Yeah. Well, and parents that don't know what to do and don't think it's crazy, but then they meet, they see it from you and go, okay, like there's lots of people dealing with stuff like this. Like, how do we help each other?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Well, we appreciate you sharing it, but you're right. Like, I wonder how you shoot that. How do you shoot that with your kid? And you don't you want to celebrate it.
Yeah.
And use it informationally, but you never wanted to watch that like 10 years down the road and say like, this felt like a case study, Dad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's a tough line.
We're in this world now where these are the questions you got to ask because everything is like everything is on social, everything's online, and these kids might revolt and say, "What the heck were you posting all these Insta photos of me?" like they might be pissed. I don't know.
It's true. Like you never
Or they
know.
might want more. Why didn't you make me famous? Why didn't you let me have my own YouTube
That's
channel?
the crazy thing now, right? Like,
well, what's
it's
crazy is
amazing.
just how natural it is, though. Like my 5-year-old can grab a phone and talk into it like it's nothing, and I still like hold it kind of awkward, and I'm not sure where to look.
We caught Hannah filming her bare ass yesterday. I will show you the video when this is over. You will die. Like, she goes, "Here's my bum." Pulls her pants down, films her bare butt.
Gosh.
She's 4, just turned 5. Yep. So there's that. So I hopefully that's not a signal on or a sign about where things are going for Hannah.
There's OnlyFans now, so there's good living. There's great money in that skill.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it was the funniest. Right, like she's barely turned 5, and she knows how
super second nature to him.
to pull up my wife's phone and record. Like she just had this whole video talking like today. Oh,
I wish I could show you. I'm like so I can't upload this one because Facebook did actually block it from being uploaded. But this is my. I'm going to show you guys, and you can kind of have the reaction, the audible reaction to what happens. But this is the 6-year-old, and she loves animals, as we've already talked about. So she was trying to get she has a lizard, she has a bearded dragon in her room, and she wanted to get another animal that she caught into that same room.
she's not going to eat the lizard, is she?
She's not going to eat the lizard.
So I can see a cat jumping in there and eating a lizard.
No, I got to find out when this happened. I filmed this. It was so funny to me, but Facebook doesn't want it going up on video, and we might not find it here. If we don't, I apologize. But I'll tell you what did happen, so it's not like you're waiting forever. Dang it! Please be here.
Oh, we can edit this too. We can shorten it up. Take your time.
Yeah, we'll shorten it.
Unless you have to go.
I do after this, but I do want to show you guys this. Yeah, did she not get all videos? Okay. She wanted to get. She caught a. This has to be. She caught a snake.
Whoa!
And she catches a lot of them. She puts her hands into snake dens and pulls out snakes.
Oh my gosh!
Around her house.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, this is a true story. And so this. Oh, I'm gonna find this because it's really worth the wait. She.
Did she put it in with the lizard?
That's her goal.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but that was the end goal. Oh, okay, here we go. You're lucky. All right, we're gonna trim this up. Take off the sound.
Shut your mouth.
She's trying to sneak a snake in her underwear into her room.
Oh my god!
So I caught her. This is actually the second time she did it. I thought it was so funny. I'm like, but we caught her waddling into her room, and we're like, what? We thought she was pooping her pants or something. And we pull her. We like find, like, what's there? And she's laughing. She had a snake in her underwear.
Oh my gosh! Just a little garter snake, or what was it?
Yeah, big garter snake. But she's just fearless, and she's This is how she'll work. She'll just catch anything, any butterfly, bug, centipede. She doesn't have any fear, and she'll like try to sneak it into and create a relationship with the snake that you now can't take it away. So she was bawling when we didn't let her put the snake in the lizard cage.
Wow.
That she snuck in her underwear, and so that's
funny. Is they probably would have been best friends. Like I honestly wonder, like, if she understands that, because it is like you think of like I was thinking like Rain Man, right? Like a lot of autistic people have this like part of their brain open that just seems like otherworldly. And you wonder if she understands like naturally, organically, like relationships between animals, like Dr. Doolittle almost. You know what I mean?
She might almost see something different that we don't, like just a different level.
Saying, like,
yeah.
How cool, like,
that's cool, right?
Yes, it's way cool. Like maybe she's not scared because she knows. She knows that this is not an animal that will hurt me.
There's like a different energy, like to communicate that they have that she's sensitive to, and we're not.
We're also trained to be scared of all that stuff.
It's like the dude on Instagram who lives with tigers. Like,
yeah, don't do that. That didn't end well. Like Grizzly Man too, right? But that's the thing. Like, it seems crazy, but What if it's like,
what if
like
huge?
10 years down the road, she's Steve Irwin?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like she can communicate with animals and like Cesar Milan with dogs. Like
I'm trying to support it too. Like I want to go to Africa with her because she does
so cool.
She does her everything to her. She knows everything about a cheetah. Like,
do you follow Dean Schneider? Oh,
That's
dude.
the guy I was talking about. The tiger guy.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the guy I'm talking about.
See, he's lions, not tigers. It's lions, but okay, and hyenas, and monkeys.
but
Like
she'd be pissed if my daughter heard you guys not getting these animals right. You know, like thinking if you try to say a cheetah's a leopard or like any other thing, it's like no.
You have to show her Dean Schneider.
Eyes have this.
Like she will be obsessed. Like
she's gonna watch.
He is in a pride. Like
really?
he is allowed in the pride.
She's gonna love it.
He can be with all these lions.
I've
while
seen
they're
footage of
chewing
this guy.
on a zebra.
I've seen footage of this guy.
Like it's wild. And then he's got his pet. He's got tons of animals, but
do you think it'll end well though? Because I do.
Yeah,
have
I think
I do
so.
have that. There was that grizzly man up in that.
He's not crazy though. Like they're behind fences. Like he's the only one allowed in. Like it's
an animal. At the end of the day, like
no, you're right.
The sharks. I went swimming with sharks, and I got the lesson in Hawaii. Like sharks are, if you know their behaviors, you know that they're what they're doing. You can swim with them.
Right.
It's a lot. Most of them are not dangerous. If you do certain things.
But you never really know.
There's just like that.
Especially when they're wild.
Yeah, they're just exactly like we can't.
And he does try to keep them wild.
They don't
He
have.
feeds them animals. Like it's like he puts a live animal in and says, like he wants those instincts to stay. But he has a gift. Like it's not just lions. It's hyenas.
Yeah.
I think he has a wolf. I think
it's crazy.
It's nuts. Cool. And so I don't know. He's got 3 or 4 million followers, I think. But
no, I'm gonna go share that.
He's fascinating to watch.
That's awesome.
But see, I see that differently, and the rest of the world needs to see it too. Because I'm sure she'll grow out of the like.
Very hard to manage.
Awkward.
Runs away all the time. I mean, I'm chasing. We have to drive down streets, like chasing her when she runs away. Figuratively, like I'm running away. I'm never seeing you guys again. I'm done. And then she'll just walk down Heber, down to Main Street, and she
wait.
Back.
You live in Heber?
Yeah,
that's where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in Little Charleston, little town up there.
Shut your mouth. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm going up right now.
I went to Wasatch High.
Yeah,
where I graduated. How cool though. See, I don't know, dude. To me, that's a gift. To me, that's like there's something that she knows that we don't. That you watch. She'll be Steve Irwin, man. Steve Irwin died. That sucked. Look at his kids. You watch his kids?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Is he doing the same thing?
Oh, watch the Jimmy Fallon videos with Steve Irwin's son. He looks like Steve Irwin.
Oh, that's cool.
And he has that same love and gift for animals. And
he was on Shark Week this year.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I love that kid. But yeah, I think it's that'll probably translate into something really, really cool.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, there's so much more to share. I do have to go.
Oh, you're fascinating, man. We would let you come by whenever you want.
Yeah. If you're,
I can't wait to
take a season. Take next season or whatever. How do you guys ever take a break, or is it just?
We did. We took a little
We've taken a lot of breaks lately.
Yeah, it's COVID.
Yeah,
right. It's normal. But
if you want me back in the 150s, 160s,
dude, we'll take you back next week.
Whatever you need.
That would be tons of fun.
Well, yeah. Let me know
if you ever want to get someone on here that I know. There's some great people.
We definitely love referrals. So we'll take those.
Right.
I got to get Josh on here now. I have talked to him about it, Josh Little. So I'll get him in here too.
Great.
And hit me up when you need some catering for your.
I have a lot of those, so I actually might have one tonight. So I might have to go buy some food right on the way out.
Love it. Well, dude, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks everyone.